Hello? Hey Justin! What's up? I'm filming Gear65 right now. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus, a 7-inch Android Honeycomb 3.2 tablet. And this is actually just a smaller version of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. It literally is. The specs are almost identical, except this particular tablet has a slightly faster processor running at 1.2 GHz, whereas the other Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1's processor is slower at 1.0 GHz. So let's start taking a look at the hardware itself. This is a 7-inch tablet, a 7-inch display at 1024 by 600 pixels, thus the name 7.0 Plus. And it's a normal LCD, this is not an OLED display. You will find an OLED model coming soon, it's called the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.7, but this is not that tablet. On the sides here you have the volume control and power button. On top here you have the headphone jack. And on this side you have the SIM card slot and a micro SD expansion. That's because the battery is integrated, so you don't need to remove any batteries or open up any shells to get to the SIM card. And on the back here you have this nice white plastic backing. That's why the design looks just like the Galaxy Tab 10.1 with the same white plastic backing. A 3.0 megapixel camera with autofocus and an LED flash. And on the front here you have a front-facing camera. This is something new that's different between this model and previous models, having the front-facing camera for video calls and taking pictures of yourself. On this side you also find an ambient sensor which will adjust the screen's brightness according to the surrounding, which is a little problematic because when you hold the tablet on this side like this, you tend to accidentally cover the ambient sensor, which causes the screen to actually dim or go up, even though you don't want it to. Now on the bottom right here you have two speakers, so this is actually a stereo speaker. Over here you have the proprietary dock connector, so this is what you'll use to sync as well as to charge. It does come with a cable that looks a lot like Apple's 30-pin dock connector cable, and through this one USB cable you can both charge and sync. However, the problem is that it won't charge from a USB port that you plug straight into on a computer. It will only charge from a USB power adapter that is provided. Even until today, I haven't seen any other tablet apart from the iPad that is capable of charging straight from your laptop. That's kind of disappointing because I can't charge the tablet when the battery runs out while I'm outdoors unless I carry the USB charger around with me. And on this side over here, you have a microphone. That's right, that's because this tablet can actually make phone calls. Yep. It's a 7-inch phone. That's the reason why you find a speaker here with a proximity sensor, so that when you receive a phone call and you put it against your ear, it will switch off the display so that you don't accidentally touch the screen. That's actually very amusing, holding a 7-inch phone to your face. The problem is that the microphone is kind of far away, so apart from, attracting a lot of attention by putting a 7-inch tablet onto your face, your voice will sound slightly softer, so you need to raise your voice a little for the microphone to pick it up, yet be able to hear the speaker on this side. So that was the hardware. Now let's take a look at the software. Like I mentioned earlier, this is running on Android Honeycomb 3.2. It is a version of Android specifically customized for tablets. So, one of the things that Google did was that they restricted the amount of customizations a manufacturer can actually do on their tablet. So as a result, majority of the things that you find here will look exactly like they would on any other Honeycomb tablet. Things such as, for example, the app launcher, which will always be in the corner right here as a button that's called Apps, the Google search bar, and of course, one of my favorites, how they've actually improved the notification panel significantly to allow you to change all of these things, on and off settings, and switch on and off Wi-Fi, GPS, and so on and so forth from any application that you want. This is something that Samsung used to have to do, by themselves, but fortunately now it's built into Honeycomb, so any Android tablet will have all of these controls. So now let's take a look at the customizations that Samsung did manage to do. One of the things they did was they added these little buttons up here that allow you to jump from one widget screen to another just by touching the little dot. That is a very nice feature because you could say, hey, I know all of my news readers are found in tab number 2, so I can just click here and it'll jump here. I know my shortcuts in tab number 5 and they're all here, so on and so forth. Another thing that they did to customize was this little button right here. This is a quick launch button. It's customizable to do many different things, such as launch an application or launch the camera. But by default, what it does is it takes a screenshot. For example, I could be visiting a website like this, and this is something that I'm quite interested in and want to share with my friends. I just hit this button and it will take a screenshot of the exact screen itself, which allows me to annotate it and send it off by email. So this is a function that was very similar to what you found on the Galaxy Note, except that you don't need a stylus to do all of these things, which is a very nice feature. The other nice thing that they've added was this little mini apps thing, which is found on the other Honeycomb tablets by Samsung as well. So when you hit this little button on the taskbar itself, it'll bring up all these things. These are little applications that can run on top of any other application that you're running. For example, again, I'm visiting this website here. I can launch the calculator, and instead of switching to a calculator, I can actually put the calculator right on top of my browser and be able to do things. That is a very nice feature. Other more useful mini apps include such as the calendar, the memo application that you saw just now, and task manager even. I'm running out of memory, I should switch off something else, so I just hit the X button while I'm in the middle of my browser, make phone calls and send SMSs straight within whatever application that you're doing right now. So that is one of my favorite customizations that I've seen on a Honeycomb tablet so far, and I'm glad that Samsung has kept it even with the Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus. And one of the things that Samsung did not do, however, was actually customize the app launcher. So when you hit the app launcher, you can of course do the same thing, hit number 1 or 2 and jump to one application screen to another. You cannot, however, customize the order in which the applications are put. By default, they are in alphabetical order, and I'm very sure of this. I've tried everything that I've known, touch and hold, look for contextual menus, nothing at all. I've even read through the entire user manual to find something about customizing the menu, and I couldn't find it still. So that's kind of disappointing because everything's by alphabetical order, and so you will have your Office application next to your Pulse reader, which is kind of annoying. So sometimes I want all of my social media stuff on one side, Office stuff on another. You can't do that with this one. Well, since we're at the app launcher, let's take a look at the apps that came with the tablet itself. You have AllShare, which is a DLNA software. This allows you to connect to your home stereo system, your TV, and things like that, if they have DLNA support, of course. You've got an ebook reader, which is a nice thing. It allows you to read PDFs as well as EPUB ebooks. You've also have a file explorer and a Polaris Office, mentioned earlier, as an Office client, and a built-in photo editor as well. So these are some nice little additions that Samsung has given to you, so you don't really need to install much applications to do cool stuff with your tablet itself. Of course, other than Angry Birds, you should install that. Anyway, that is the software running on Honeycomb 3.2. Of course, I don't really have to mention this, but you can tell already that the Samsung's widgets have always been very, very nice. My favorite widgets so far among most of the other brands, because they're really huge, take up as much space as they can, and show you quite a bit of information. So that's something that I like about Samsung's massive TouchWiz widgets. And that was the Samsung Galaxy Tab 7.0 Plus, a 7-inch Honeycomb 3.2 tablet by Samsung. And this is, like I mentioned earlier, a slightly smaller version of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. All the things that you liked about the design is found on this particular tablet as well. All the things that you loved about the software is in here as well. And of course, it is a 7-inch tablet that can make phone calls. So I hope that this video was useful for you. If you thought that it was, give us a thumbs up so that we know we're doing a good job. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/65bits, and don't forget to visit our brand new website at www.tech65.org for more gadget videos and podcasts. And that's it. Until next time, I'm Daniel. Bye.